Match preview, Aston Villa versus Liverpool on Monday the 26th of December, Boxing Day. It's a huge game. The Premier League is back. So let's get into it then. Aston Villa. They've had a great break. They had a tour out in Dubai. Managed to beat Chelsea 1-0 and claim a trophy whilst out there. So Unai Emery's first trophy in management at Aston Villa. Before that, some great wins. Great result against Man United at home, beating them 3-1. And then getting a 2-1 victory away at Brighton. So two really great wins. In between that, we had the 4-2 defeat in the League Cup. But it was a good game. It was a good performance. So Emery's had 3 solid performances thus far in competitive football. Now, I was at the Villarreal game last week as well. I was out having a few drinks, considered not going, to be honest, because it was freezing. It was a works drinks, but yeah, I ended up going in the end. I was just shivering my balls off, basically. Sat there, cocooned up, hoodie up. The performance, though, was decent. Villa played well. The created chances, they just weren't clinical enough on the night. And, you know, the Etienne Capoue goal was... The game was just going on at like a mild temperament. Wasn't much in it, and they ended up scoring, but it didn't show how the game went. It didn't. The scoreline wasn't a representation of the football and the game itself. Villa played well and did create a lot of chances. So yeah, it was just a warm up, really. You know, pre-game before the big Premier League games were back. So we've had that game, we've had the Chelsea game, we had another game as well out in Dubai. We also had a behind closed doors friendly against Everton. Lost 2-0, but again, it was just a run out. People don't take it too seriously. It's just a run out, just to get the legs warm, ready for Monday. Going into Monday, Liverpool themselves, a lot of their players didn't go. They had a few players go, so Van Dijk being the main one of those, but the majority didn't go. They played a strong side against Man City. They had Breach in midfield, but apart from that, a lot of the players are first team players that played in that game, and Kelleher as well, the goalkeeper. But Salah played, Nunes played, Matip, Joe Gomez. There was no Trent, but Milner played. Robertson played, Thiago played. So they had a lot of first team players playing against Man City, and it was a great game. And they would have expended a lot of energy in that game, but also it would have been an opportunity for them to have a competitive game before going into the Premier League. Now, going into this, I would have been more confident playing Liverpool off the back of the 2 victories if the World Cup hadn't taken place, just straight into it. Because of the World Cup, we don't know where players are quite at. And it's a huge game to go into straight back after the so-called World Cup break. What will Villa be looking to do? It'll be the same sort of rigidity that we've seen against Manchester United and Brighton, as in we look compact in shape at the back, going from a 6-2-2 to a 4-4-2 in between transitions. We'll be looking to keep it tight, I imagine, because out wide Liverpool have threats. Is a good thing for Villa, not so for Liverpool, that Diogo Jota and Luis Diaz will be missing the game, because they're just phenomenal forward players and tricky players to play against, especially Luis Diaz on the left hand side, but also Jota is just clinical in front of goal. So going into this now, Villa themselves, Emi Martinez is still out gallivanting, still out celebrating, and I respect him for it. Carry on. You've just won the World Cup. I understand your position. Villa fans, don't get on his back. Don't get on his case. You know, he's just won a World Cup. Let him go out and appreciate. When you see the videos of him in his hometown and the crowd that's out there, you can understand why he's still out there, because it's just the biggest achievement he'll ever have. Even if he wins a major trophy with Villa, still that ranks highest considering the career he's had. So it looks like Robert Olsen's fit and he's going to playing goal. Now what we need to do is get behind Robert Olsen for this game. I know he's had some bad games. He's conceded average 3 a game in games that he started, but you have to back the goalkeeper. There's no other choice right now. And if anything, the blame should be put towards the board and the ownership for not having a competent number 2, if that's how you feel, instead of placing it on Emi Martinez or Robert Olsen, because they're just doing their jobs. And Emi Martinez is just celebrating out of the World Cup leave, which he was given. he was told he could have this time off, so he's taken it, which a lot of us would do anyway. So yeah, Robert Olsen will be starting in goal, and then apart from that, it's just Jacob Ramsey now. It was funny going into the World Cup. There was news of Ramsey being injured, and then a bit more into it. Also, Aaron Ramsey didn't start a game for Norwich, so there was a few conspiracy theories going around saying, "Oh, it's a family, something's happened in the family. The Ramseys are, they're not appearing for their clubs." But it turns out Jacob Ramsey just actually had a hamstring injury, and that's why he's missing. So there'll be no Jacob Ramsey. Hopefully, he's back for Spurs, possibly Wolves. But hopefully he's back soon because he's been a revelation under Emery. It's only been 2 games, but he looks a totally different player. More responsibility, driving with the ball. He looks tremendous. So yeah, Villa, apart from that, will be full strength, I think. I think we'll go Olsen in goal, Cash, Konza, Mings, Digne. On the wings, I imagine it will be Emmy and McGinn, Boubacar, Douglas Luiz in midfield, and then Bailey and Watkins up front. I think that's what he'll go with, even though Ings got 2 in the last Premier League game. I think that's what he'll go with. He could play Ings, move Bailey out wide or Watkins out wide. I don't know, but I think that's what he'll go with. We just need players to start stepping up and continue to step up as they have been doing. That Bubba, Douglas Luiz midfield 2, they look like they're going from strength to strength. They're understanding of each other's play, especially that Chelsea war. I know it was a friendly warm game, but the understanding of each other's play, the way one sits, the way they were playing, interchanging in between each other, playing little 1-2s in the midfield, it looked really good. And hopefully they can just develop on that and grow. One player which is interesting who's back from injury is Coutinho. I imagine he'll get minutes against Liverpool. Don't think he starts, but it'll be interesting to see what happens with Phil. It just hasn't gone as Villa fans would have wanted it. Had some great performances against, most notably, Leeds. I can remember Spurs. He played unbelievably well. Man United. But it's just one of those things. I don't think it's worked out really. And if he does move, I won't be too sad to see him go. He's not the same player, and the expectations were up there. They shouldn't really have been that. So yeah, on Liverpool, they'll be full strength apart from Diaz and Jota that I've noted. Nunes didn't look great midweek, but you just know he's going to turn up on Monday. Salah will be looking to continue the good form he had towards the end of the break. Well, the end of the Premier League. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. My score predictions for this one then, I'm going to go 1-1. But more it could be Liverpool victory than Villa. I just think, missing Emmy is a big deal, but we have to have full support for Olsen. But it will be interesting, and Emery loves playing against big teams, so this will be really interesting from a Villa point of view, how he shows up against another big team. Man United was one of them. This a so-called big team. They've been playing well this season compared to other seasons, and we managed to dispatch them and put in a good performance at Old Trafford in the Cup as well. So this will be interesting. At Villa Park, it will be rocking. If sell out Boxing Day, Villa Park, the atmosphere is going to be nuts. It's a later kick-off as well, so people will be in good spirits. So yeah, it's going to under the lights, Villa Park. It's usually a madness, and I don't expect anything less. I expect a good game. Hoping Villa can get 3 points, and if we make it 3 wins out of 3, then Emery is on to one. Because we've still got tough fixtures coming up with Spurs and Wolves. So yeah, looking for 3 points, but I think it will be a draw. But we've got to be confident. We've got to go into this game with confidence, and we've had a few more games now to work on the structure. He's had a full month to work on tactics, systems, so the players will be more understanding of what Emery wants. And it will be interesting to us as Villa fans to see how this month is shown on the pitch and what they've learned and what they've picked up, what differences and variations we see. Because we didn't see that under Gerrard. It was the same sort of stuff, and it was just boring. It was boring, and there was no effects from it. But with Emery, even though people say he's a defensive manager, we managed to score 3 in one game, 2 in another game, and 2 in another game. So the goals have been coming, which we weren't having towards the start of the season. The goals weren't coming through. So yeah, up the Villa, man, full support. Hopefully we can get the 3 points, but I'm going to go for a 1-1. If you like the video, if you could like and subscribe to the channel, be much appreciated. Content's going to be flowing through now. I stopped at the World Cup. I did a few videos, but then I just took the time off, and now Villa are back. Full season, there's going to be loads of videos coming out. So if you could like and subscribe, share and drop a comment as well if you want to, what you think of the video, what your thoughts are about the game, and where you see Villa going this season. 12 currently, looking for top 10 finish this season, and January is going to be interesting because it's Emery's first window. Thanks for your time.